What's the best advice anyone has ever given you? Don't expect someone to just know what you want. Tell them. And if you want to try something, mention it. Surprise Barbie doll in the isn't for everyone. But that would ruin the surprise. Not if you yell it just as you shove it in. Someone told us to ditch the PJs and sleep naked. Frequency of increased almost immediately. How much are we talking? 2 Hz to 4 Hz. Don't use as a reference. Not everyone is going to have a horse. And positions look as awkward as they seem when you're doing it. Your doesn't have the production quality of a porno. A lot of positions in are made up for camera angles. If you are not filming home video, don't bother. When doing it doggy style, have the woman lay completely flat on the bed with a few pillows under her stomach and waist. This creates a great angle for you enter her from behind, and deeper penetration. The prone bone. A man of taste I see. I see you are a man of culture as well. For ladies, don't be self-conscious about your body, just go on top. He's going to think it's sexy as hell no matter what you think you look like. Edit. Thanks for the shinies. I showed my husband this. It made him horny. If he dies, he dies. Forget about any hang-ups you have about your body. If you are at the point where clothes are coming off, the other person does not care about your perceived personal flaws. They just want to be with you. If she says don't stop, don't go harder, do exactly what you are already doing. Do not change the position, pace, pressure, or anything at all. Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead. Use the underside of your tongue when going down on a girl. It's smooth unlike the top and feels better. My dad told me this when I was 18 and he dropped me off at college. He is a wise man. Then when it comes to said act, you suddenly think about your dad and how he knows it's good. Then you realize that your parents had to have. And now you're thinking about your dad performing oral on your mum. Now your girl is staring at you as you've suddenly gone limp and starts thinking she's the issue. But you can't tell her you were just thinking about your parents. So you leave. Anticipation and foreplay. If you really build it up the right way, she'll be practically forcing you to her. As a woman, I can confirm. Is it enough if I say anticipate later? Yeah, but also inform your partner when penetration is happening with a quick monotone I'm inserting the. They'll be done in no time. I shall penetrate your flesh at approximately 6:00 p.m. I, as a guy, for some reason, had a lot of lesbian friends when I was younger. They all tended to give the same advice when eating out and my wife says it paid off. 1. Slow at first. Save the speed up for later. 2. Surface area is important. Make your tongue as wide as possible at first. Later you can target to increase intensity. 3. She'll tell you what she likes by her reactions. Pay attention to them and keep doing what makes her moan. Save what makes her scream for intense moments. 4. Keep going until she starts pushing your head away or she flat out tells you to stop. She may get multiples. It's a good thing. Things I had to learn the hard way. 1. You've always got to know where your towel is. Generally preparation is what I'm talking about. Know where your condoms, protection are so you don't have to go searching. The afterglow can easily be ruined by having to search for a clean-up towel as well. You'd be amazed at how well just a little preparation makes everything easier and better. 2. Is ridiculous. There will be awkward moments and crazy things. One time our dog sneaked into the room and licked my while we were hot and heavy. Tried to keep the rhythm after that happens. Don't be so uptight and laughsome. 3. Communication is incredibly important. Luckily my wife isn't that shy about herself, so she's fairly open about what she likes and dislikes. I was raised in the Bible Belt of America where things like a taboo, so I'm still working on being less shy, awkward about it. 4. The most important advice I can give is that it's okay to not be in the mood. While women in society are generally okay with not being in the mood, guys are supposed to be crazed lunatics. This is not the case, and there will be times your significant other is ready to go while you're just not ready. It's the same with any couple, no matter what gender, but because I'm a male in a relationship with a female, this is the only experience I have. All of this has no basis past my own experience. Hope everyone out there has safe and fun. Guys, if you can feel your fingernail when you scratch the inside of your cheek, then your nails are long. To not be afraid to be sexually aggressive. It's sort of bred into women that if you have a high drive and enjoy, that's not normal, or you're a. I've found most men thoroughly enjoy when I'm aggressive and let it be known what I want. I think 90% of guys' fantasies involve the girl saying, doing something sexy to initiate things. I don't understand why it's culturally seen as bad. Think less about what you can get from, and more about what you can give to it. Make it mutual and not one-sided. Ask not what your can do for you, but what you can do for your. JFK. To all men, do not stay quiet. Moan. We like it. My boyfriend has this thing he does when he's really turned on, where he actually literally growls. It's incredibly primal and turns me on like nothing else. Never pull the beads out like you're starting a lawnmower. I use the Beyblade method. Some girls buck like a bronco when you eat them out. Don't be afraid to get your arms around their hips for better stability. When I'm chowing down on my girlfriend, I have to legit hold her stomach so she doesn't buck me off. A firm hand on the sternum, right between her breasts, and then another right above the bikini area locks her down right proper. She usually goes even crazier after I do that too. 1. Give directions. Every woman is different. How the hell is a guy supposed to figure out what you like if you don't let him know? 2. Give up control. Don't worry about your flaps, faces, noises, whatever. If I learnt anything, it's that a man goes crazy for a woman that with self-confidence. If you don't like what's happening, say it. Not advice someone gave me, but advice I want to give others. Your first time will be a little awkward, and as a guy you might find it hard to keep it up, or that's okay. The first time I had, which was actually with my current GF, I was so nervous, but it was okay and she was accepting. Just relax, try to enjoy, and let nature take its course. Don't be a dummy, nut on her tummy. I only have 3 kids because of that advice. This wasn't advice that I was given, exactly, but it was something that I learned the hard way. One fateful afternoon back when I was an adolescent, I made the mistake of telling my then girlfriend about a particularly bizarre dream that I'd had, in which I'd gotten turned on by tomatoes. Rather than causing her to laugh, the concept seemed to intrigue her, and she offered the idea of covering my nether regions with ketchup and then licking it off. Which, after some hesitation, I agreed to try. It wasn't the sandwich sauce itself that was appealing to me, mind you, so much as it was the prospect of finally receiving oral. We'd had copious amounts of penetrative, but the girl had always claimed that fellatio made her gag. Anyway, the ketchup went on, and I was treated to a round of messy, tingly, and thoroughly half-hearted licking. When it eventually became clear that neither of us were really enjoying the activity, I suggested that we just skip ahead to the fun part. There was still the small problem of my downstairs area looking like a scene from a third-rate slasher flick, but we figured that we could both clean up after the fact. Teenage hormones may have been a factor. We soon discovered how monumentally stupid we had been. Rather than providing any sort of lubrication, the ketchup almost seemed to act like a surprisingly abrasive variety of glue. Our solution, idiotically enough, was to apply more of it, and then even more when the first edition only exacerbated things. In the end, we were both left unsatisfied, and the young woman in question wound up with an infection of some variety or another. That was the day when I learned a very important lesson, and one which I hope will benefit you. Ketchup absolutely does not work as an effective sexual lubricant. I was asking my friend how the hell to give my girl oral cause I suck at it, and she tells me up front, He told me, "It's not just about the tongue, bro. There are tons of erogenous zones on a girl's body. Maybe stop thinking with your tongue and use your hands also, you moron." I looked up erogenous zones and kinda had a good visual sense for what to try to do, so I followed it. Started touching her more, avoided the vaginal area completely, and she came. She had never me better than when I actually got her off. Guys, when you're entering her, push just the head in and out for a bit. That feels so good. If I was already incredibly aroused and you just moved the head in and out of my opening for a bit, phew. If you told me to bark like a dog, woof. Babe, that move is kryptonite. Save the last quarter of an inch for someone you love. Only give them 2.75. Got it? If you cannot laugh about having with the person you're doing it with, probably not a good idea to do it with them. Guys like it when you take charge. Most girls are really quiet and reserved, and when they get horny they don't really know what to do. I used to be one of those girls. But over time I learned that anytime I got horny I could just reach over and start handling my man's junk. He got super turned on by me just grabbing what I wanted. And it's honestly super liberating to have that power. I give him head almost every day just because I love hearing him moan. He never complains about how crazed I am. Even though I'm horny like 90% of the time, I love kissing his neck and grabbing his. And being on top is great. Guys aren't always wanting to be the ones who take charge. I wish I knew this sooner.